What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past few days, where it has been a very hectic past few days. Honestly, not much rumors in terms of different profiles, but the profiles we do have to talk about, the news on it, are fully loaded. Firstly, Messi's return. He's been suspended by PSG. He's 100% leaving PSG this summer. The question now is, will La Liga give the green light for his return? We have all the updates on that. Also, Barcelona's top 3 right back options this summer. The list has been leaked. We'll talk about that. And of course, with players coming in, you gotta sell. We have 3 big updates on the 3 attackers that Barcelona want to sell this summer: Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati, and Raphinha. With Ansu Fati, the news is big, and with Raphinha, the news is huge. Also have an update on Franck, Kessie, and Jordi Alba's exit, contract renewal updates on Lamine, Yamal, Busquets, Dembele, Alejandro, Balde. We also have an update on the back, of course, Araujo, Christensen, Koundé, and Balde, and whether or not they have a price to leave the club this summer. And finally, we do have the big updates around the sporting director saga at the club. Of course, Mateu Alemany will be leaving. We have more behind the scenes of why he left, Jordi Cruyff update, and who is the leading candidate to replace Alemany. It's a big name. It's actually a former midfielder for Barcelona. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into the video, this video is sponsored by Number 1 Foot. Number 1 Foot is one of the best jersey football replica websites on the market. They have a variety of items at fantastic prices. I have here some with me. Firstly is the home kit for this season. Excellent quality. The badge is nice and smooth. Spotify logo is printed on to perfection, and I also even have a jacket as well. This is one of the training jackets that the players wear. There's a logo there on the right hand side, zipper and everything. They have some badges here, the Nike logo as well. The quality is absolutely, feels real, and also the prices are unbeatable. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get an additional 15% off your orders. That's BOY. Use that checkout, you get 15% off your order, and all orders above $80 as well will get free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Top link down in the description down below, and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past few days. Now, honestly, there hasn't been much. We have not been linked with too many transfers over the past few days. There's been this right back story and about Messi. That's pretty much it. Everything else has been about sale, and of course the situation with Mateu Alemany. So we're gonna get right into it. Firstly, Barcelona of course continued their search to sign a new right back this summer, as Xavi has made it a request to the board to sign someone in this position to reinforce it, as we do need it. And now Barcelona are starting to make a right back list. Now, Jordi has come out saying that Barcelona's options right now for the right back position are as follows. Number 1 is Juan Foyth. Number 2 is the mysterious question mark, and number 3 is Arnau Martinez. Now, he also came out saying the unknown right back is not Spanish, and he also does not play in La Liga, but there is no consensus at the club regarding Arnau Martinez. So again, still no full agreement inside the club that Arnau Martinez should be an option for the club, although Xavi has been presented with this option and he does like it. The reason why Jordi has not told us who the number 2 mystery question mark is because that's the right back we're probably going to go for. Juan Foyth, too expensive, not going to happen. Arnau Martinez, not everyone wants to get him in the board, and also Atletico Madrid are already way to advance on that deal than us. Whoever is this question mark mystery is the one we're going to go for, I think. And honestly, not Spanish, not playing La Liga, I'm thinking it's either João Cancelo or Thomas Meunier, and I'm begging to the Lord himself that's not Thomas Meunier. If it's Thomas Meunier, this club is never going to move forward, and I might honestly consider killing myself. If it's João Cancelo, you know what, he's a bit old, but if it's a loan deal, honestly, he's better than nothing. So I'll wait and see what happens in this right back position. I do believe the club will sign someone in this position. Will it be the top quality right back that we do need? Will it be someone who will come in, do a job for a season or two, then leave? I'm not quite too sure. Again, there is someone the club is following that's on that number 2 spot, who I think most likely will be the right back that we do actually pursue, negotiate, try to get the deal done. The question now is, who is it? He's not Spanish, or he doesn't even play in La Liga. Now, Barcelona's number 1 target this summer is, of course, the signing of the greatest human being to ever touch a football, Lionel Messi. And his name, alongside Mateu Alemany, is the most talked about over the past few days. I'm going to give you guys a quick backstory on this real quick. Messi has been suspended by PSG for taking an unannounced trip to Saudi Arabia. He has been suspended for 2 weeks after going on a personal promotion trip without their permission. He has now no access to the training facilities. He'll be fined his wages, and he will not play the next few matches for Paris Saint Germain. So again, from PSG side, he left without asking. He's been fined. Since this report came out, RMC Sports in France, of course, very, very reliable. They came out saying that now Barcelona is more confident in the signing of Messi. He will not renew his contract with PSG. And also, L'Equipe came out saying that Messi will no longer be at PSG next season. But there is more of a backstory behind this. Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Lionel Messi knew that he had 2 to 3 days off after the game, and he communicated to PSG about traveling to Saudi Arabia on Monday morning. But when he was already traveling, PSG suddenly changed the plans, and they put a training day on Monday. Messi had already changed his Saudi Arabia plans for 2 times to respect PSG in the last few months, and in this case, he communicated to PSG. But when he was already on the flight, it was impossible for Leo to change the plans. He was always been a great professional at PSG. He never created any problems for them. So here's what happened. Messi has told PSG a couple times, I gotta go to Saudi Arabia. I'm an ambassador. I gotta go there, shoot some guns and toys and have fun. They're like, yeah, sure, you can't do it this time. You can't do it this time. I said, how about that this time? We'll have 3 days off. Can I go then? They said yes. But then they lost to, I think, blaugrana. They're like, you know what? We gotta train that day. Unacceptable performance. And they announced the training session as Messi's already on the plane going. So what they've done is say, oh, this man doesn't want to renew his contract. He's gonna leave. Let's make him look bad. That's what happened. Messi is probably the most professional footballer you'll ever see in your life. And again, this is all a story to make him look bad. And it hasn't worked out. Now, there are also reports coming in from TYC Sports saying that if Messi's sanction without playing or training is confirmed, the real reason is not missing a training session, but the club want to turn the situation around when they see that for weeks Messi has no intention and is far from renewing his contract. Again, PSG had this a little bit of a smokescreen to make Messi look bad because he was not going to renew his contract. And now with Messi having 2 weeks off, being suspended for 2 weeks by Paris Saint Germain, there are reports that Leo Messi and his family are going to come spend those 2 weeks in Barcelona. That's not with the face of PSG or what? That is absolutely ice cold in the veins. But if he's going to be in Barcelona for 2 weeks, fucking Joan Laporta better go talk to him. I swear to God. Now, we all know that what's lacking at the moment is La Liga's green light. We all know that we're a La Liga green light away from Messi returning. And a few days ago, there were reports coming out that La Liga are not going to give this green light. Fabrizio Romano actually came out saying the feeling within Barcelona in the last few days is that it's really difficult to match the expectation of La Liga in terms of fair play. Nothing is close to being done yet, hence why everything is slowing down between Barcelona and La Liga. TYC Sports also came out saying that Messi's future panorama has changed around the, facility, both from La Liga and from Barcelona. They see it very complicated that their viable plan will be approved. Barcelona's wage bill is not being approved by La Liga as of today, and this makes Leo Messi's return very difficult. PSG's offer still on the table, but if Messi accepts parties to renegotiate, Inter Milan is prepared their offer, and the offer from Al Hilal is also stopped for now because Messi wants to continue in Europe. So apparently, La Liga is not going to approve the viable plan according to, Fabrizio Romano and TYC Sports. And if Messi does not go back to Barcelona, he's not going to stay at PSG. Where's he going to go? Into Miami, maybe Man City, Al Hilal. Will he go to back to Argentina? Who knows? But this is not the case. Fabrizio Romano and TYC Sports are wrong. Juan Martin came out saying that Barcelona have not received any negative feedback to this day regarding the feasible plan for Leo Messi's return. The club has to take certain steps which they already knew and they are still working on. Also, Veronica Bernetti has been probably one of the more better reporters for Argentina. She's come out saying that Barcelona have presented their visible plan to La Liga, and it looks very positive. Messi knows that the offer Barcelona are making to him, and the contract has already been drafted. Of course, he won't renew at PSG. Argentine from Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona are still waiting for a response from La Liga over the viable plan they sent for registering the new contracts and the possible signing of Leo Messi. Barca expect an official answer from La Liga soon, whether they will accept it or not. Jordi came out saying that a meeting of La Liga confirms that Barcelona's available plan is still there and the club must execute the plan. La Liga is convinced that it will happen. So, the people who are not in Barcelona are saying that, oh, it's difficult, blah, blah, blah. People are in Barcelona saying, hold up, it's not done yet. They're still looking at the plan. There's still many more times to go. And at the moment, there are very much positive signs. But what's clear at the moment is that Messi will not be staying in Paris. Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Lionel Messi will leave Paris Saint Germain at the end of the season. There are no doubts about that anymore. Jorge Messi, his agent and father, informed the decision to Paris already a month ago due to the sporting project. It was the final breaking point. So a month ago, PSG and Messi already broken down. Relationship was already on the floor. Then he takes the strip. PSG sees it as an opportunity. Apparently also Nasser Al-Khelaifi paid some social media accounts like €1,000 to talk crap about Messi. The ultras are out calling Messi son of a B word. They went to Neymar's house, all this sort of stuff. So all propaganda. Do not look at it. Messi is probably one of the most professional sportsmen in the entire world. He would absolutely never do that. And basically he was in the wrong situation at the wrong time. And they kind of, smoke screened it and tried to finesse him. Now, also, the reports coming from Mercado from France came out saying that Leo Messi's priority has not changed, returning to Barcelona. Internally, Barcelona are very optimistic about his return. Al Hilal still hopes that the Messi move doesn't materialize, that they can try and lure him. Again, Al Hilal's offer is still on the table, over €400 million net per year, the biggest sports salary in the world. Mateo Morito has come out saying that Leo Messi will return to Barcelona if they have the necessary financial fair play, but as of yet, there's no green light from La Liga. Finally, Gaston for TYC Sports came out saying the only club Messi wants to play for is Barcelona. He and his family are waiting for a resolution between Barcelona and La Liga. If it happens, the contract will be for 2 years, 1 year deal, 1 year option, 13 million euro salary net, 25 gross. That's all I need to hear. So again, we're in the same situation for the past 2 weeks. The only difference now is that the PSG option was ruled out. Jordi Cruyff came out for a week ago saying that Messi would either play for Paris or play for Barcelona because he wants to stay in Europe. That Paris option now is ruled out. So his only real avenue right now in Europe is Barcelona or maybe Man City. I think if he doesn't come to Barcelona, I would absolutely love to see him 1 year in the Premier League under Pep and just watch him tear everyone in that league apart. That would be great. But we are now waiting for the green light from La Liga, which hopefully will come. We're very optimistic, both La Liga and Barcelona. And to be honest, if Javier Tebas screws us over, he will not touch heaven. Like, he will not be able to leave Spain alive if he does not approve this plan from Barcelona. I think the plan, of course, if the plan is crap, then fair enough. But it sounds like the plan is very feasible. The club have worked on it for a few months, then submitted it. So there's really no excuse in my opinion. So we'll have to wait and see on the return of Leo Messi. But again, 100% will not continue at PSG. And we're only a green light away from La Liga for his return to Barcelona. La Liga have still not answered. They do not believe the reports that it's complicated, all sort of stuff. It's still in the works, still possible. And we are urging close to Leo Messi's return. And also keep in mind, next 2 weeks, he will be in Barcelona, staying there. And that could have some movements as well in terms of the relationship between him and Laporta. Apparently Deco, who might be the new sporting director, him and Messi are still very, very close. So everything is pointing in the right direction. Again, all we are missing right now is the green light from La Liga. Now, with the summer transfer window officially opening in around about a month's time, Barcelona now have their official plan for the upcoming summer transfer window in terms of possible sales and also possible signings as well. And it is coming in from Luis Rojo from Marca. He's come out saying that Barcelona are working on 5 signings and 4 sales, and also the return of Abdi for the summer. Possible signings could be Leo Messi, Inigo Martinez, Ilkay Gundogan, Victor Roca, and Yannick Carrasco. So those are the positions that Barcelona want to strengthen: left wing, striker, midfield, center back, and of course, icing on the cake, Leo Messi. Sales: Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres, Kessie, Garcia, but apparently Ferran Torres to a lesser extent, due to, of course, amortization. He also said that reinforcements in other positions are not ruled out, i.e., of course, the right back position. So again, the plan this summer is very, very clear. I think Messi is a priority. Inigo Martinez already done. Then you bring in Gundogan free transfer. You try to find that backup striker. Then you go for a right back, and then you go for this world-class winger that apparently Barcelona are absolutely all over for. So I think the plan is good. If we can make these signings, make these sales, I think we'll have an absolutely perfect summer. But with the sporting director position still in question and all this stuff changing, I think it is complicated to say the least. Also, we have to register, the contract renewals of Alejandro, Balde, Gavi, Araujo, Alonso, Roberto. So a lot of work to be done this summer. There could be a lot of possibilities for things to go badly, but there's also high hopes that everything will go as smoothly as possible. But there is one, stint that Barcelona have to keep an eye on, and that is what their priority is: signing or sales. and it is very clear that the priority for Barcelona this summer is to sell first. Ben Aid came out saying that Barcelona's priority at the beginning of the summer is the process of selling players. The club prepared a clear plan in this regard. There are names that know that it'll be very difficult for them to continue next season. So the plan for the club is to sell first. Of course, you can get the agreements done with clubs and players and just wait for the final green light, but the priority for the club this summer first is to sell, whether it's Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati, Raphinha, Kessie, Eric Garcia, whoever the case may be, the priority is to sell first. Let's now discuss the players who have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past few days. Of course, the main options to leave Barcelona this summer are attackers. Jordi came out saying that Barcelona will have 3 big departures this summer to make the viability plan successful. The club is optimistic that it will be done. Of course, these attackers are Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres, and Raphinha, and we do have huge updates, on all 3 of their situations. Let's first start off with Ansu Fati. First, the Sport came out saying that Ansu Fati's entourage want him to leave, but he is reluctant to give up on his dream of succeeding at Barcelona. He believes it's too early to give up. Barcelona see Ansu Fati as one of the possible important exits necessary to undertake the desired signings and reinforce the squad for next season. Jorge Mendes believes that he'll be able to find a good destination for Fati, who has a good poster in England, if he decides to leave. Luis Rafa Marca came out saying that the chance of Ansu Fati to leave Barcelona in the summer are considerably high. If he is not comfortable and a good offer comes in, Barcelona will open the door for his departure. Apparently now, that's no longer the case, because there was a meeting before the match against Osasuna on Tuesday. Fernando Polo and Gigantes, of course, Jordi came out confirming that a meeting took place between Bori Fati, Ansu Fati's father and agent, and Jorge Mendes during the game between Barcelona and Osasuna. And a resolution was found, because after the meeting, Bori Fati was stopped in the streets by reporters and was asked, how was the meeting? Whether will Ansu Fati stay at Barcelona or not? And he said, sí, claro. Yes, he will stay this summer, which for me is an absolute bombshell beyond belief. And then following that, Helena Codes from Kobe came out saying that Jorge Mendes did not bring any offer for Ansu Fati between the meeting between his father and also Joan Laporta. He only met with his father to find out whether Ansu Fati had changed his mind to leave Barcelona. But Ansu is firm on his decision and he wants to succeed at Barcelona. He will only leave if Xavi tells him to. Wow. Situation and problem number 1. We have a player who has a market, who's not doing too well, who the club may look to sell, but the player does not want to leave, and he will only leave if Xavi says you don't have a spot in the squad in the first team next season. But until that spot is still there, Ansu Fati will refuse to leave. Fair play to the lad. He's got some balls to say no to his father, and also the super agent, the most reliable and the most biggest agent in the world, and Jorge Mendes. Credit to him. So that's Ansu Fati's situation. He does not want to leave. He's told his entourage, his father doesn't want to leave, and he'll only leave if Xavi tells him to. Next situation is Ferran Torres. Again, he's attracting a lot of interest. Jordi came out saying that English clubs as well as Atletico Madrid are interested in Ferran Torres. Miguel, of course, came out a few weeks ago saying the club will accept the transfer fee of around 25 to 30 million euros for Ferran Torres. They're also open to a loan move if the loan fee and buy option are favorable. So Ferran Torres' exit is there. I think he's definitely the first one out of himself and also Raphinha. But the issue is he does not want to leave either. And also the coaching staff do like him a lot. I don't know if he's good in trading or his versatility, but Xavi and his coaching staff drool over him. They don't want him to leave. They only want him to leave if it's financially beneficial. So wait and see with Ferran Torres. But the biggest news in the attacking position alongside the news, position dilemma, along with Ansu Fati wanting to stay, is the situation on Raphinha. Now, as we all know, Barcelona don't really want to sell Raphinha. They have a price set on him of around 90 million euros that they will, listen and consider offers for. Ben Aid also came out saying that Barcelona will sell Raphinha only if they get a big offer. So if they don't get a big offer, they'll keep him. Otherwise, he will end up staying. Now, I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but Barcelona have received an offer for Raphinha. Now, it's not an official offer. It is a verbal proposal, which means the club have told Barcelona they will offer this. What are your thoughts? Would you accept it? If you bid, then you reject. Sometimes the official stuff kind of gets beefy and all that stuff. So sometimes the club do a verbal offer, and a club from the Premier League have done that. And it is Newcastle United who have sent an offer verbally of 80 million euros for Raphinha. Jordi came out saying that Barcelona had received a verbal offer worth around 80 million euros for Raphinha from Newcastle. Now we did, we spent around 65 million euros on Raphinha last summer, so this is profit, but it isn't the price that Javi Miguel said a few days ago, which was of course set at 90 million euros. But here's the kicker. Jordi also came out saying that this offer is included in Barcelona's economic plan and the league is aware about it. It is an official verbal proposal. So when Barcelona sent their viable plan to La Liga for the financial fair play, they said that, we also have an offer on the table of 80 million euros for Raphinha from Newcastle. So that is mentioned in the plan. So if La Liga come back and say, okay, if you sell Raphinha, loan Ferran Torres, yes, you can bring back Messi or whatever the case may be. So La Liga know about this offer. Woo! I mean, I have no idea what I'd do. I didn't think we'd get an offer this big, but this offer is big. What I would do personally, I say to Newcastle, I need 90 plus variables. You know what? Am I taking the risk here? Yes, but we just bought Raphinha. He still has a lot to show. He's got double figures in goals and assists this season, so I think he's had a very, very good season. He has similar and even better numbers to what Neymar had in his first season. I think next season will be absolutely huge for him, monumental, especially with Barcelona if they do end up rejecting this offer. But I wouldn't be surprised if Barcelona accepted. I mean, we did, sell Emerson a month after we signed him. So to be honest, I think anything can happen. Would I be upset if Barcelona accepted this offer? If Messi comes back, no. If we accept this offer and we don't get Messi, I will be a bit annoyed, but it's a big offer. But I personally would say, Newcastle, you got the money, 90 million, 10 million variables, and you can have him. But of course, it comes down to Raphinha as well. He's a viable contract at Barcelona. He can say no to the move and end up staying. So big complications in this. Keep your eyes on this. So there is an offer for Raphinha. Keep in mind, Barcelona needs to free up around 200 million euros for the wage bill. Already 90 million of that is gone with Griezmann and PK salary finally being off the wage books. You need about 110 million. Sell Raphinha and you're basically done. And then what you have to do is sell long left for 12, sell Titi, get rid of Collado, bish bash bosh, you're done. Dest, and you're good. So this could be big. Then you end up keeping Ferran and Ansu, two wingers who have not had a good season but have a lot of potential, have a lot of promise, and do play that the coaching staff do appreciate a lot. So all I'm going to say is keep your eyes on this. Personally, again, would I accept this offer? No, and ask for a bit more money. If they give me the money, I would accept it. If the club do accept this, if we bring back Messi, I wouldn't be upset. But if we don't bring back Messi, I will be upset. But it's a big decision by the club, I must say. This is why Mateu Alemany probably dipped. He's probably thinking, this is I don't want to make this decision. So in the comments down below, please let me know what you think. Would you accept this offer? Would you ask for more money? Are there stipulations that you need to sell Raphinha? But this is a big offer on the table for Barcelona, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But again, the club need to sell some attackers this summer, and Raphinha, Ferran, and Ansu are all on the chopping block. One of them will leave. The question is, who will it be? Now, another player who could end up leaving Barcelona this summer is, of course, Franck, who has been rumored to be in a very weird predicament. That the club want to keep him, Xavi wants to keep him as well, but if a decent offer comes in, the club will study it and most likely accept it. So not an exponential offer like Raphinha, like, 20 million euros over his market value. If someone comes in with a decent bid for Kessie, the club will consider it. Juan Mati from Liga came out saying that Inter Milan are still very interested in signing Franck, who has lost promise lately. Kessie would like to stay at Barcelona, but he is aware that the club could be tempted to sell him due to helping with FFP. Now, I think Franck, this is the situation. He wants to stay, but if an offer comes in, he will leave. I think he's not going to be, like Ferran Torres, Ansu, or Raphinha that he'll fight to stay at Barcelona. I think if an offer comes in from Inter, AC, or Tottenham, the club accepted, I think he will accept it, barring, of course, the club offers him, good wages and stuff like that. So with Kessie, I see it about 50-50. I think if we get an offer of 35 million, 30 million, you take it. Let's be honest. You brought him in for free last summer as well. So, and honestly, he's he's a utility knife on the bench. He's a surprise. He's a powerhouse midfielder that can come good a lot, especially deep into a season. We've seen this a lot, with the players like Paulinho, Arturo Vidal, Yaya Toure, Seydou Keita. These are players that in Barcelona's most successful times, we've always had this kind of profile midfielder in there. So I can see why the club want to keep him. Xavi wants to keep him as well. The player wants to stay, but we are waiting for offers to come in. So we're going to see how Franck can see his future, but again, his future will be decided based on the offers that arrive at the club this summer. Now, a Barcelona captain who could potentially leave the club this summer is Jordi Alba, but his future is in his own hands. Having Miguel from AES came out saying that Xavi and Jordi Cruyff are planning to meet with Jordi Alba by the end of the season in order to open the doors for him to leave or to take a pay cut. Of course, Jordi Alba this season has taken, a backup role, someone behind the scenes, helps the boys in training, smiles, comes in on the pitch when we need an attacking fullback. He's done pretty well in that role post, October, November time, so credit to him. But he is sat on €250,000 per week. He still has a year left on his contract. That is not feasible whatsoever. He needs to reduce his salary. And again, I want to remind you guys that Jordi Alba over the past year has been talking a lot in the media that if the club asked him to reduce his salary, he would. So watch out. If we do all ask him to reduce his salary and he says no, I want every single culé to go in on him. Because you know what? On 90,000 a week, you can stay, no problems whatsoever. But on $250,000, you can jog on. So wait and see on Jordi Alba's future. Again, he'll either be staying at Barcelona on a reduced salary or leaving the club this summer. But with Messi coming back, very, very unlikely. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, a player who's on the first team but will be soon is, of course, Lamine Yamal. We do have an update on his renewal, and pretty much once he turns 16 in July, he's going to put pen and paper on a 3-year deal at Barcelona. Luis Rojo from Marca came out saying that Lamine Yamal has already agreed to renew his contract. Talks started a long time ago, and Yamal conveyed his desire to stay at Barcelona. Barca and Mendes are working to prepare the documents. It will be signed when he turns 16 in July. Fabrizio Romano confirms this. Lamine Yamal will sign a renewal until 2026 in the summer. The agreement is imminent. And also Raccoon came out saying that Barcelona and Lamine Yamal have already agreed on the terms of his first professional contract that he will sign. It will have a release clause. The official announcement is delayed due to the change of his agent, and also that the contract will be pending signature in July. So Lamine Yamal, QUEDA, will stay, renew for 3 years, and he also next season will be in the dynamics of the first team. Sport came out saying that Xavi and the coaches already decided that Lamine Yamal will continue with the first team until the end of this season, and he'll also do preseason with the first team as well. Now, I think he will stay registered as a Juvenile A player, which of course Gavi was last season under Koeman and Xavi as well. So you keep him and he can drop down to Barcelona B. Again, he's making that big jump that Ansu Fati made, that Gavi made, where you jump straight from Juvenile A to the first team. That's how raw and special his talent is. And he will be renewing his contract very, very soon. He will stay, and he will have a big chance for the rest of this season to, impress, and also in preseason as well. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Alejandro Balde, which alongside Lamine Yamal is on the verge of completion. Hanina Codes from Cope has come out saying that Alejandro Balde's contract renewal is closed. He received several big offers, but he has turned them down as he is happy at Barcelona and his role in Xavi's team. While Jorge Mendes was in Barcelona, he spoke with Joan Laporta, and they finalized the renewal of Alejandro Balde. Finally, this should have been done back in December, January time, but the club were, doing other things, I guess. But Alejandro Balde, pen and paper on a new deal, 4-year contract, I do believe, until 2027, with, of course, the €1 billion release clause. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of the first team captain, of course, Sergio Busquets, who has given big indications on his renewal. Now, Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that Busquets will not be going to the MLS, and his future is linked between Barcelona and Saudi Arabia. The meeting between Messi and Alba has caused a decision not to go to the USA, and that now is leaving up to him. So Busquets not going to MLS, it'll either be Barcelona or Saudi Arabia, and we do have the answer of where he will go and also when he will announce it. But firstly, Jordi Miro came out saying that when Sergio Busquets leaves the club and the club recovers economically, Barcelona wants to go all out in order to sign Martin Zubimendi. Xavi loves him. So long term, Martin Zubimendi will be the replacement for Busquets. The club, fully agree on this. Xavi loves him as well. They just can't afford him this summer. So once Busquets leaves next season, or the following season after that, or in a few months maybe, the club see Zubimendi as their #1 target. But now, big question, when will Busquets announce his decision, and has he already made his decision? I think that's the case, because after the match on Tuesday against Osasuna, post-match press conference, Busquets came out saying, I have more or less thought about my future and decided. Now there's going to be a few days off, and when I return, I will surely inform Xavi on my decision. The first team has been given 5-day holiday, I believe, until Tuesday, so next week we will get the answer for Busquets. He has confirmed that he's more or less decided. He's going to tell Xavi once they come back from their few days of vacation. So there you go. Next week we will get the answer for Sergio Busquets. I expect we will get it probably a bit earlier than expected. I'm thinking Monday. Keep your eyes on that day. I think that's when we'll get the answer for Busquets. And keep in mind as well what he does decide, because if he does decide to stay, that's just Messi one step closer. But if he decides to leave, I will be shitting myself about Messi's return. So we'll wait and see with Busquets. But again, at some point next week, we will get the answer on whether or not he will stay at Barcelona or leave the club as a free agent. And the final contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Ousmane Dembele. And Sport came out saying that on Tuesday, before the match against Osasuna, man, everything went down before this match, by the way. Let's keep this straight, Lamine, Yamal, Alejandro, Dembele. After the match was Busquets. These past 24-48 hours have been absolutely crazy. Anyways, before the match against Osasuna, Mateu Alemany, who of course quit a few hours later, met with Ousmane Dembele's agent Moussa Sissoko with the objective of extending his contract beyond 2024. It was the first meeting, and the sensations between the parties are positive. We have bet on Ousmane quite a bit, so hopefully he does repay us with a decent long-term contract. Of course, in the summer, he just renewed just to basically stay and stop all the drama and, kind of overruled Moussa Sissoko a little bit. But let's hope this summer will be a bit better. Again, he does have that €50 million release clause in the month of July and August, which any team can activate. So I expect Barcelona want to get, good progression done on his contract before that time. So we'll have to wait and see. But again, official talks between Barcelona and Ousmane Dembele over a contract renewal have begun. Now, one thing's for certain this summer, and that is Barcelona's absolutely fantastic backline this season of Alejandro Balde, Ronald Araujo, Andreas Christensen, and Jules Koundé will not be sold this summer unless huge offer comes in. Jordi Cruyff came out saying that Barcelona considers today's defense Alejandro Balde, Ronald Araujo, Andreas Christensen, and Jules Koundé as untouchables. Offers more than €90 million could be valued, but there is no intention of letting any 4 of these defenders leave this summer. Of course, Christensen and Koundé just joined. Araujo is best center back in the world, and Balde just renewed. Makes sense. But there are reports about Christensen that apparently Aston Villa want him. Whoa, Mateo already trying to betray us. I thought you were going to go to the beach with Coutinho, smoke it up, and, catch up. But nope, he's straight in for Christensen, apparently. €100 million offer. If a triple-digit offer comes in for Christensen, you know what? If the club take it, I wouldn't be mad at it. But I would consider, Koundé, Araujo, and Balde more untouchable than Christensen, although he has had a fantastic season. I think any price, I would not sell Koundé, Araujo, or Balde. But 100 million plus, I would think about it for Christensen. But that's beside the point. Probably just rumors because Alemany just joined them, whatever the case may be. But under no means necessary, barring an absolutely astronomical offer, Balde, Araujo, Christian, and Koundé will be staying at the club this summer. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is give you guys more behind-the-scenes action of why Mateu Alemany left Barcelona officially. Of course, Tuesday night is when he announced that he will be leaving the club in June, but staying over the summer. I still don't know how that's going to work. But anyways, let's crack into this because there's some very, very interesting things that may even change your opinion on Mateu Alemany himself, Don Mateu Alemany. Firstly, Jordi Cruyff has come out saying that Mateu Alemany will become the Aston Villa sporting director. He received a sporting and economical offer that he could not refuse. The way that Aston Villa works and the figure of Unai Emery as a coach have been important factors for Mateu when making this decision. Apparently, Aston Villa have quintupled Alemany's salary currently at Barcelona, and the club, of course, could not match that in any way, shape, or form. He's been given total freedom, unlimited budget, and he sat on Messi wages doing it. So to be honest, I don't blame him. I don't think he has that love for Barcelona as us culés do, which I think I would have rejected that offer. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but anyways, fair enough to him. I don't blame him. Now, he's come out saying the news of Mateu Alemany's departure was announced yesterday due to the fear of possible leaks in the press. For this reason, the process was accelerated. To avoid Aston Villa-Barcelona clashes regarding to Mateu Alemany, the board want to close the squad plans as soon as possible. The club wants to have the large part of the work done by July the 1st in terms of the departures and arrivals. Now, I said this in the video that I made 2 days ago about Alemany's exit. How is he going to work for Barcelona and Aston Villa as well? Made no sense to me. Apparently the club Barcelona want to get everything done before Alemany joins Aston Villa. That way when he joins them, he can only help us with a few things. He has to have to work 24 hours, which I think is madness. How we're going to get everything done before July 1st is beyond me. We need that La Liga plan green light in like 2 weeks, because we only got like what, a month and a bit. I see it. I will tell you this right now. That will not happen. I think what will happen is that Mateu Alemany will try. Then, he's going to ask Villa. See, I can't really do both. I'm sorry. And, that's what he's going to do anyways. Anyways, that's my opinion. More on Alemany and more on why he left. Sport came out saying that Mateu Alemany was a supporter of Frankie de Jong's sale? What? Having reached a pre-agreement with Manchester United, but Joan Laporta interfered to fulfill Frankie de Jong's desire to stay at Barcelona. So there's strike number one, Mateu. He wanted to sell Frankie. Also, second point, Alemany was also not in support of Ousmane Dembele's renewal after the long dispute with his agents, but Xavi insisted on keeping him. That's not really strike number two. I can see why he wanted to bid it off because Musako was being an absolute twat, but that's 50-50 in my opinion. If you want to say strike one, strike two, if you want to say now let it go, fine with me. Third point, now Alemany was not in favor of Messi's return and the renewals of Busquets and Roberto. He wanted fresh air. Now, the Busquets and Roberto, kind of understand, but he wasn't in favor of Messi. Mateu. Thought you were the Don. You've let me down. So how is he going to, if he does not agree with Busquets renewing, Messi coming back, why is he going to stay for the next 2 months doing things he doesn't agree with? It doesn't really add up in my opinion. Anyways, there's more. Juan Martin came out saying that Mateu Alemany didn't exactly agree with the idea of extending the contracts of Busquets and Roberto. He wanted to bet on younger players. He also did not see the clear idea of Messi's return, so confirming that report. Henry Cordes came out saying the reason why Mateu Alemany's departure is warning planning for the coming season. Again, was not clear on the support of Messi's return. So Alemany did not want Messi back. That's strike number two in my opinion. Nah, you sacrificed for Messi. If you told me to sell Ansu Fati and Raphinha for Messi to come back, probably wouldn't do it, but I would sell two of them for Messi to come back. But anyways, there's still more. Alemany, this is coming from Juan Martí. Alemany didn't understand how the return of Messi could take place when players like Xavi, Araujo haven't been registered yet with their contract renewals, and the club also need to reduce the wage bill by 200 million euros. In addition, Messi's camp and Alemany's camp, or not Alemany's camp, Alemany himself, weren't exactly on good terms either. Whoa. Now, the last line there, need to reduce 200 million euros. I don't know if I'm dumb, but I remember 2 months ago, someone what's his name again? Mateu Alemany came out saying that Griezmann and PK's salary are gonna get off the wage bill, so that's already down 90 million. We only have to reduce 110, but I keep seeing this 200 million euro figure floating about. Now, Luis Rojo from Marca came out saying that Mateu Alemany saw how there are people from the club who, without knowledge, want to make decisions. There were times when Laporta takes action following the advice of agents like Mendes or Xavi more than the club's professionals. Another factor that Alemany didn't like were the constant leaks to the media. I agree with him on that. These circumstances make the work for the entire sporting management team extremely difficult. Jordi Cruyff is also thinking about leaving the club at the end of the season, and his contract expires in June, and it's not clear if he'll renew or not. We'll talk about Jordi Cruyff in a second. Now, I can understand where Alemany's coming from. He's asked to do the impossible. Everything's getting leaked. People who are not smart are making decisions. So I understand a little bit, and I can understand why he doesn't want to bring back Messi. It's difficult. He wants to have the fresh start. He wants to bet on the youngsters. I understand that. So honestly, Alemany, I salute you. I got no bad blood. You saved us in the worst times. You made 19 signings. All turned out pretty good. So I got no beef with you. I wish you the best of success at Aston Villa. If we ever need to sell some garbage, please Anglet, you know his price. Yes, you can get him. I think he'll do great at right back. You know, him and Matty Cash can compete from there. You know what I mean? So, I can understand where Alemany is coming from. It is difficult to be the sporting director of the biggest club in the world. So, no hard feelings in my opinion. And I can see why. And also, so on top of all of this, he was offered fat wages and a limited budget from Aston Villa. So, I can't really blame him. So, they're the behind the scenes of Alemany's exit. He didn't agree with a few things. Laporta was, you know, ifing and awing with Mendes and Xavi. He was asked to do the impossible, renew old players, bring back Messi, and difficulties renewing, registering other players. So that's the story behind Alemany now. He's in the past. Thank you for your service. And now we move forward. Now we do have one problem, and that's the problem, of course, of Jordi Cruyff. Fernando Porto from Deportivo came out saying that Jordi Cruyff will assess his future during this month and then decide on his continuation at Barcelona. His current contract ends on June the 30th. Antonio Cardón, possible arrival, could be a good point for him to stay as they've worked together in the past. Barcelona themselves, this is coming from Juan Martí, hope that Jordi Cruyff will end up staying. Now, apparently, Cardón and Cruyff have a great relationship, and that could, you know, persuade Cruyff to stay. And also, apparently, Jordi Cruyff will now assume more power with Mateu Alemany's exit. So, over the next 2 months, when Barcelona want to get everything done, this man is leading the charge. We'll have to see with that. Now let's talk about some replacements for Mateu Alemany. First up is, of course, Antonio Cardón. Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Cardón is a strong candidate to cover the Mateu Alemany departure. Started his career off in Villarreal sporting director in the 1990s and 1999. It was there until 2016. Then signed with Monaco. The project lasted 1 season. Then went to Sporting. Blah blah blah. Then went to Betis, and he was, you know, working with the Ecuador national team with Jordi Cruyff. All great. So he's got experience. He knows the market very well, and of course, being at Betis and Monaco, he has experience with the European, you know, caliber stuff, and that's all well and good, to be honest. Now, there also is another option, and that's the option of Jesus and Goy. This is coming in from Samuel Marsden and Moisés Malloy from ESPN. They've come out saying that alongside Antonio Cardón, Jesus and Goy is also being considered as a possible replacement for Mateu Alemany. Nothing has been decided yet at this stage. You're probably wondering, alright, 2 random names we haven't heard of with some experience. I guess it'll work out. No siree. No siree. There is a new name who has emerged on top of Antonio Cardón and also Jesus Sangoy, who is now the leading candidate to replace Alemany. You will not believe this name. It's ridiculous. It is an agent, by the way, who will have to leave his current role as an agent to become the sporting director of Barcelona. It's Bloody Deco! Oh. Raccoon broke the news. They came out saying that Deco is best placed to replace Mateu Alemany as the sporting director this summer. And then the news was confirmed by everyone else. Jardimero came out saying that Deco is an option. Roger Tolor from Deportivo came out saying that Deco will arrive in Barcelona next week to listen to the club's proposal and start negotiations. He is excited. He assumes that he must disassociate himself with his D20 agency, and he wants to know about Barcelona's project, and he also wants to talk with Xavi and Jordi Cruyff. Fabrizio Romano also came out confirming that Deco is a concrete option to become Barcelona's director to replace Mateu Alemany, but nothing is finalized yet, though. Deco. This screams to me an Abidal 2.0, which, of course, did not go well the first time, but smart guy, worked in the transfer market, helps with Raphinha, of course, a great relationship with Ron Laporta, and also a great relationship with Lionel Messi. So, I mean, look, honestly, I don't really care who Barcelona appoint as sporting director. Obviously, I would prefer someone with experience like Antonio Cardón, but if Laporta does not back him, then you can't appoint him. Laporta needs someone he can trust. He trusted Alemany, he did well, he wanted to leave, fair enough. He trusted Ferran Reverte, he wanted to leave, there you go, fair enough. Laporta, this is his presidency, this is his candidacy, he needs to bring in people who he trusts. If he brings in Deco, I'll back it, but if Deco flops, I'm going in on Laporta, and that's the reality of it. So, I think it's a bit strange to appoint someone who doesn't have experience, especially when we're going into a deep market. We want to, pull off some miracles. This is like, Mateu Alemany job, and you bring in Deco, who has no experience whatsoever. But if Xavi backs him, Jordi Cruyff backs him, Laporta backs him, then you have to wait and see how it plays out. So we'll wait and see. It's gonna be very, very interesting. Hopefully, this is, I've seen some people on Twitter talk about the Club de Amigos coming back. Hopefully, that's not the case. I think the time of Bartomeu was different. Busquets, Messi, Jordi Alba, Piqué all ruled the dressing room, and Abidal was there. He's won trebles with them, so of course he's gonna back them and all that stuff. I think it's different this time, especially with Laporta at the helm. He's more of a strict guy, and every time Laporta brings in his men, he does well. You look at the first time, his first tenure with TK, who's now the sporting director of Man City, and this time, first 2 years under Mateu Alemany have been very, very well. So I'm going to back Laporta, see how it goes. I understand the decision to appoint Deco on paper isn't the greatest. Well, in my opinion, we have to wait and see how it plays out. But currently, at the moment, Deco is the leading candidate to replace Mateu Alemany as the sporting director of Barcelona. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. Main thing I want to know first, of course, right back, who do you think that second question mark mysterious right back is? Messi's return, you think La Liga will get the green light or not? Thirdly, on the attacking sales, who would you sell for how much? Would you accept that offer from Newcastle for Raphinha? Would you push Ansu Fati at the door despite him wanting to stay? Thoughts on renewal of Lamine, Yamal, Balde, Busquets, Ousmane, Dembele, and also your thoughts on the sporting director saga at Barcelona as well. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.